Season's greetings from Gertlash Gaming. My name is Father Jason Lovell Christmas.
I'm on the spot, I haven't got a wig. I'm Fairy Sean Davis.
Fairy Sean Davis. Do fairies do work at Christmas? Or
Yeah, they're all fucking stacked out.
The fairies are putting a shift in as well, so it's not just the elves. So this is it's another episode of the vlogcast. It's a gaming vlogcast where we're going to be talking about our games of the year.
What a year!
With caveats.
Lots of caveats.
Many caveats. Now we'll get that out of the way quickly.
Get the elephant out of the room.
There's many games we haven't played, so because of that, they're not going to be on our list. Because of timing issues, financial issues, and just the fact that there is an abundance of good games to play.
And 2020's been a bit shit as well.
That's it?
A little bit. We'll go into that.
Ooh, okay. So, and also Sean doesn't play new games, so Sean, there's no point in Sean putting this together because he's only played one game that came out this year, and that would be number 5, number 4, number 3, number 2, number 1. So, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the games that would probably have made our list that we wish we'd played, and we probably will still play, and then I will run through my top 5, and you'll chime in when I get to one of them, because that's the one game you've played. So, let's just get on with it, shall we? So, Sean, what games have you has come out this year, which would probably be on most people's game of the year list?
Oh right, so I mean I've short a bit. I've dipped into loads of different random games. So I'm just this year's been spent. A lot of it was Witcher 3. A lot of it was doing Skyrim again, and I'm doing a lot of retro gaming. I'm a retro gaming guy, so I've been doing a lot of Super Nintendo gaming and things like that. So that's my excuse for not playing all of the 2017 roster. Although I've been massively impressed with it. But the games that have impressed me that have come out, Mario Odyssey looks phenomenal. I'm like a kid looking in a shop window looking at that one.
I will play that for definite, and I tell you why. Because I'm going to say this quietly because he's in the house somewhere. It is going to be under the tree on Christmas Day.
Nice.
Not for me. It's one of those presents you buy for somebody in the family, but it's really for yourself. So let me just say that's going to be available, obviously, for the Nintendo Switch. So I'll be playing it. It looks awesome. I've heard a lot of people say it's the best Mario game for years.
We'll promote them.
So that looks incredible. So we can't go into too much detail, but we're looking forward to it.
Yeah.
You did play a little bit of Horizon Zero Dawn, didn't you?
Really good game. Really game of the year. I think it's going to top a few game of the year lists. I think Zelda, which we'll be talking about in a bit.
Yeah.
Will probably get a lion's share of the game of the year awards. I think Horizon Zero Dawn is the open world, and I played a few hours of it. I intend to play more of it. It's just amazing, really. It's just because you can do loads of things. It's a third-person open world adventure, but putting yourself in the third person does give you more opportunities to do different things than a first person. Like look at Far Cry compared to Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah.
There's lots more platforming in Horizon Zero Dawn, stealth and things like that, which your first person doesn't offer.
Yep.
So kudos for that. And plus you get to know the protagonists, and it's one of the best protagonists I've seen in years. Rust, Gingerbird in Horizon. So I'm really into that game. You get lost in the amount of things you can do. Lost.
It's very cinematic as well, isn't it?
Almost.
It's not Naughty Dog, but it's got that vibe. The way it looks, it's got that.
She is Naughty Dog-esque. Rusty in the sense she's quite chatty and she responds to different environments, things. So, dinosaurs are brilliant. Mech saws, whatever they're called. That's a really awesome concept, isn't it? Sort of like robot dinosaurs. The world she's in, you're like, oh my god.
I've heard as well that. Because for some people that probably sounds like a bit of a stupid concept to have massive robot dinosaurs, apart from if you're watching like Transformers the movie from 1984, the animated movie by the way, not the shit.
Awesome world, isn't it?
Who did he play? Did he play Unicron or whatever it was?
Yeah.
Yes, Jason. See, I know certain things, but no, it's actually explained within the lore why they exist, and it almost makes sense.
The little holotapes you pick up are amazing.
Yeah.
And they're people's recollection. They're really stuff like haunting some of them are.
Yeah, apparently a lot of people say that one of the best things about the game is learning about the lore
it makes you want to go and explore. So that's a good game. Thimbleweed Park, which you want to chat about, I think looks phenomenal.
Yes,
Hark back.
Yeah, everyone, especially people our age, everybody fondly remembers those LucasArts days of point and click, and not just LucasArts, but the other company. Yeah, exactly. And it is a dying sort of genre. I mean, I know, you know, the South Park game kind of touched on that a little bit, didn't it? The first one, was it sort of like a point and click type?
The Fracture, but which one's that?
No, the first one, Stick of Truth.
No, that was a riff on turn-based RPGs.
Oh, all right then. Well, ignore what I just said. However, you know, I mean, forgive me if I'm talking shit now, but like the sort of last game I can kind of remember being uber successful was like Broken Sword, really. Like to spawn a franchise. I mean, there's probably other ones that have gone under the radar, but
it is Thindery Park starting a franchise, is it?
Well, I don't know about starting a franchise, but it's certainly bringing us back into that.
Grim Fandango. It's what Grim Fandango should have done, but Grim Fandango just came out and the point and click was dying, and even though it's probably one of the best games ever made, it didn't really carry on that way. I think would have thought Grim Fandango would have.
No, definitely. It would.
No, that looks good. Other games I thought have been quite good this year. Ghost Recon, watching you play that, I thought was really good.
I played Ghost Recon. It doesn't make my top 5 of the list. I mean, because I think I said earlier on in the year, if you want to go back and watch those videos, just for those who are listening to the podcast and not watching us, we've got sweets and peanuts because it's Christmas.
Yeah.
It's a very poor household. This is all we did. We stole it from an old granny walking down the street.
Knocked her out cold.
Yeah. It's still out there, actually.
Really cold.
But no, Ghost Recon is it's a as a single player game, it's an okay game.
Yeah.
But it's a very good co-op game. Do you know what I mean? Because there's not a lot of decent co-op experiences out there, especially on the consoles. I don't know if you can hear my dog snoring. But that's hilarious.
He's out cold.
He's proper out. Yeah. So that's why it doesn't make my top 5 of the top 5 list.
That's fine.
What else did we? Oh, I tell you what. I'm surprised you haven't mentioned. We haven't really talked about it much because we did actually talk about it on, I think after when we did sort of our E3.
For the Nut Now podcast listeners.
Our E3 vlogcast, podcasts, whatever.
Schmodcast.
Now, was Assassin's Creed Origins, because I have heard.
Whoopsie doodle, yeah.
I've heard it's incredible. I've heard because go back to when they obviously took a break and you thought, all right, fair enough. They realised that they're just churning out too many conveyor belt type game, and they took a break and you thought, brilliant. They said we're going to build same old shit. They all say we're going to build it from the ground up, blah blah blah, and then the trailers and the gameplay footage dropped at E3, and you just went, it's the same fucking game. It looks a bit.
This is my problem.
Prettier.
This is my problem with Assassin's Creed Origins. All the reviewers are saying how it's like potential game of the year, phenomenal. Yeah. It's so different to the others, but they're not telling me why it's different.
Well, I tell you the one thing that I've heard, and you might not. This might not resonate with you because I'm not sure how you feel about this, but I've heard combat-wise, it plays a lot more like The Witcher than the previous Assassin's Creed.
But that's not a great thing because The Witcher's combat that was lacking.
I liked the combat in The Witcher.
It's very limited.
No, I mean it probably is, but I'm very limited. My skills are limited, Sean.
How can they go from being the fluidity of the Havoc engine, i.e. the Arkham games, and go to Witcher combat? Surely they haven't done that.
Look, I'm not playing it. I haven't played it. It's supposed to be amazing. The story's supposed to be good as well.
Messenger, aren't they? No, if it's like the Witcher combat,
that's what you do.
It's gone from the Havoc type engine. Fuck that for a laugh.
But alright, well, look, mate.
You annoy me now.
Mate, why have I annoyed you? It's not my fault.
Whoever told
I didn't make the game. I'm just going by what I said. What I heard, sorry.
Witcher combat.
Anyway, The Witcher was awesome, so...
the combat was a lacking part of it.
Ooh. Agree to disagree there, Sean. Agree to disagree. So, any other games? I'm sure we talked about some more.
Yeah, we did. Star Wars, Battlefront 2, you like just because you feel like you have to, I think, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you. Now, for all, like, you know, having all the... I forgot the term, but, like, showing your cards or whatever. I only played the EA Access trial. And I played up until the end of what it will let you play on the campaign. I think it's like 3 missions. And it was fine. It was fine. It's Star Wars. I've always been apologetic for Star Wars games because they're Star Wars. Like, I actually saw... I resisted you to say anything, but you were doing one of your Twitter rounds today, because for people who don't know, Sean is the Twitter man. I do get involved, but it's mainly Sean that drives it. And you were... I can't remember what the sort of message behind it was, but you were mugging off the Phantom Menace game. And I quite liked that
I liked
game.
it too, I did.
I liked it. It was one of the first...
It was a third-person that game.
It was weird, but it was really high up, wasn't it? Yeah, and it was one of the first games where you could actually deflect later, and it was really like
it was alright.
In fact, as with all my PC gaming years, the game was actually lent to me by our newest member, who's not with us yet, Mr. Rob Baker, aka MC Bobby B. I don't know if he still goes by that moniker, but one of our other friends, Biffa, gave him that, dubbed him that when we were kids, and we've always called him since. Now, yeah, I'm not going to go into it now because it's a bit out of place, but we have got a new member to GLG, and hopefully he's going to be on here at some point doing the vlogs with us, but he lives in America, so we're going to have to figure out how we're going to do it. Skype. He might be here somewhere. Maybe we'll put a photo in of him there.
Picture, I reckon.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. But he's not here for now. He may be watching. Hi, Rob, the newest member. Thanks for the video. It was awesome. And we hope we're going to see some more from you soon.
But
anyway, so cracking on. Star Wars Battlefront was fine. My biggest problem with Battlefront as a multiplayer game is it's doing what Call of Duty is doing, but Call of Duty does it better.
So. I mean, I think Dyson. I think everyone's Call of Duty running on walls, boots to the floor. Call of Duty listened to what the fans have said, and released World War II, which we'll talk about in a bit. But I think maybe DICE need to revise what they're doing a little bit. Battlefront 1 was good. The dust has settled now, and I'm thinking, was it actually that as good as?
Well, they fucked it for fans because I don't really know the details, but I know that they just released a beta for it's a completely different game altogether. But they just released a beta for the UFC game, the third one. And it's obviously got some kind of mention of it, of some kind of microtransactions. So the internet's gone mental, gone, fucking EA, you've done it again! And apparently, people that have looked into it have gone, it's not actually that bad, it's not the same thing, but you've just seen EA microtransactions and they've just lost their, it's not like the internet to lose their fucking mind, is it? Do you know what I mean? So, yeah.
They need to revise it, I think. They need to sort out their... I think their shooters are too expansive. I know that they. I mean, I've played Battlefield 4 is a really good first-person shooter. Really cool, modern shooter.
Yeah.
Battlefield 1 I found to be hard.
I found 4 harder. I got on better with 1. I don't know why, but I did just find a spot and get my sniper over. I was like, I'm just staying here.
But I think rounding it up for like what I think are the best. Before we go into your top 5, I think. The Fact of the Whole Truth, I would love to give it a go on.
Oh, of course, yeah, we talked about it and we didn't play it. I didn't play
that's the kind of because I don't play a lot of new games. We know that. That's the kind of game I would buy new because Stick of Truth affected me so much. In the sense, I thought this is just a clever, fun game. I think Fact of the Whole Truth looks better.
Well, I didn't play the first one, so I need it's one of those where. Do you ever find that sometimes you never get around to playing a gaming franchise because you're like, well, I don't want to play that one until I've played the last one. And then you never get around to playing that one, and then by the time you get around, it's like, what is it? 4 games.
I'm going to buy it tomorrow, I think. I'm going to get a bit drunk tomorrow and buy it, because honestly, I love turn-based RPGs, and the original Stick of Truth is so good, but you're in like I think it's because it reminded me of Earthbound a little bit. One of my favourite game of all time is called Earthbound, SNES game. I think it reminded me of Earthbound, because you're in a suburban setting, fighting outworldy aliens and things, doing it in a turn-based way, but it's all obviously fucked up because it's South Park. But no, that's what I think would also.
Have we got any other mentions before we move on to the top 5? I mean, I will mention games that disappointed me.
Arms, I'd like to give a go. I think it looks like a great Switch game.
No, desperate for that. So
it's a great Switch game.
So we'll have a match on that.
I also would like to play. I think a DLC shout out, the Frozen Expanses one for Horizon. It's really good. This was a really. What are the DLCs?
That's quite quick considering the game hasn't even been out a year yet, and they've already busted out a DLC.
Well, the World War II DLC is coming out in January. That's only about 2 months away. Yeah. Another one I would say looks quite good is the continuation of the Grand Theft Auto 5 online stuff.
Oh, there's a new heist.
Yeah,
they've just dropped in it. I mean, years after they fucking they said, "Oh, heist," and then they just did 4 and never did any more.
Yeah,
I didn't mean to rhyme that, but I did. And they finally dropped another one, and my mate Andy that I do the online stuff with has fucking sold the game now, so I'm going to be playing on my own.
I'm getting it for Christmas, but I'm going to PlayStation 4.
Well, maybe I'll sell my Xbox version so we can play together. Friends that play together, stay together. One
gripe I've got about the year, before you go into your gripes, is Rocket League hasn't moved forward very far for me. It's my favourite. It's a game I play. I play Rocket League most days.
Yeah. I'm
quite good. Yeah, they're very into their microtransactions. You get crates most games you play on, but guess what? You've got to spend £2 on a key. There was a quick during Halloween. They always have a theme like Christmas, Halloween, Easter, Thanksgiving, where you get free toppers for your car, free exhaust, free just mod cons for your car and skins and decals, and they were giving away free keys. And me and my brother-in-law had the best time ever, really, because we're getting these free keys, opening crates, and getting really new, cool stuff.
Yeah.
And I thought, that's quite cool, because I have bought a few keys, so I probably spent about $5 on that game. Not a lot, the grand scheme of things. But they're not going to do it anymore. They haven't released any Christmas stuff, really. No Christmas free. So the freebie, what I'm trying to say is, when Rocket League came out in 2015, whatever it was, and through to 2016, you were getting lots of cool free stuff to return the favour for playing it. And now they're really throwing the crates at you to buy the key. So my gripe is Rocket League hasn't moved forward, and someone's just going to come and release the game similar and beat it and take me away from it, probably, if I'm being careful.
Right, well.
But I've got no other game, apart from last one, Destiny 2. I feel like we should be playing it.
Oh, God, yeah. I mean, for me, the only reason I haven't played it is because I've got no more time.
It feels too big for me.
I've got no time for another online game. I mean, I've got Overwatch, which I just don't play. I just don't get
I like Overwatch. That's 2016, isn't it? But it was good watching you play that.
But I own the game, and I just don't play it. Because
but I think it's a grind. I think Destiny is a grind.
Exactly.
Disappointments.
Only disappointments I've got is Mass Effect Andromeda. Obviously, it was fucking dire.
Hammered that one in the past, haven't you?
I mean, it wasn't as bad as I think people made it out to be. People made it out like it was unplayable. It wasn't unplayable, but comparatively speaking, it was poor compared to the original trilogy. Prey, I talked about at the time. It just frustrated me to the point I just didn't want to play it anymore. It may have been a good game, but personal opinion was I just found it frustrating and it annoyed me, and I didn't feel compelled to play it anymore, so I stopped. That's really it for my gripes, to be honest.
I'm just thinking now, and
I've got one game that we forgot to mention that we both.
Is it Lost Legacy?
No, well, that is there. Well. There is that. Well, we love the Uncharted series. You've more recently played it, and I played it years ago and loved it. I played 4 only last year.
Got off Christmas, man.
But yeah, apparently it's supposed to be really good. It's nice that, like we just said, there's too much content, too much stuff that's kind of time consuming, and Lost Legacy is apparently like an 8-hour game.
Really?
Yeah, so you can smash in there, get it done, but it's supposed to be really good.
Yeah,
what it does with its time is good. Do you know what I mean? It's better to play an 8-hour game, I think, that is great for 8 hours than a 20-hour game, which is only great for 4 hours, and the rest of it's just grinding. I can't be asked. But
a player knowing you wanted to riff on as well.
That's what I was gonna. That's the one I was thinking of. So PUBG. What can I say? I played Fortnite to get me. I used it because it was free.
Fortnite's alright.
It's fine, yeah. I used it as a taster because I needed to know whether I was interested in that genre.
When are you Xbox was getting it? Next week? Got it next week.
Do you know what? I don't know the date, so I'm not gonna guess and get mugged off by the comments.
I think it's next week.
It's something like the 16th or something like that, isn't
it? Yeah, no, next week. This week, now you're watching.
Yeah, you probably already got it, but yeah, I'm on the preview program, which is what you need to get on it, and I will get it, and then I will talk about it then. So
good videos of that.
It might be actually by the time the 1st of January comes round, it may be one of my games of 2017, but at this moment I've not played it. So
what's all it? Again, I know we've got to move on. The incomplete thing. It's incomplete. It's incomplete.
Yeah, well, it basically feels like it was it's a mod, really, isn't it, to another game?
Is it?
I think so. A bit like DayZ was a mod to Armour, wasn't it? It was not actually.
Don't pretend I know that.
You know what DayZ is, don't you?
I don't know what Armour is.
It's. Do you remember Operation Flashpoint? No. Oh God, all right. No. We'll leave it at that. It's a game series of.
Thank you.
War. There we go. Yeah, so PUBG, I want to play it. I've heard a lot of people say it is better than Fortnite. It's surprisingly similar, not in aesthetically, because obviously Fortnite's a lot more cartoony, but the whole dropping in from the sky, PUBG looks more. It's gone for the more realistic setting, hasn't it?
Looks amazing.
Yeah, we'll play it. We'll do a video. You come around and we'll play it together, and we'll just have a little bit of a riff on it, and we'll do a let's play of it.
Maybe we'll have to PlayStation 4 again. But what is your top 5 games of the year?
PlayStation 4.
Yeah, why do I keep eating? I'm just gorgeous. Fattening myself up like a Christmas
My
turkey.
top 5 games of the year. Again, caveat: these are based on games that I've played. So I'm not saying they are the best games of the year. They're my favourite 5 games of the year.
My one favourite game of 2017. What number is it in your list?
I don't know because I haven't really tied down my sequence. So I'm going to try and make it up as I go along. So I think I'm going to put it in number 5.
Number 5.
So you can talk about it. I can talk about it.
Jason's number 5 was my favourite game of the year. And my only game of the year.
And I'm only going to put it there as number 5 because of the fact it is a Call of Duty game. So in a lot of ways, it's hard to say it's a game of the year because it is the same game to a degree, but it's not the same game.
Yeah, because some cunt mugged me off on Facebook.
Yeah, no, that's why I was trying to be careful I worded it because I didn't want you to come at me.
Do
you know what you've just done?
What?
Do you know what you've just done?
What?
You've just blocked our AdWords because you just dropped the C word. Damn it, Sean, it's over.
We don't need it, we don't need the
It's over.
These are all things
I'm going to bleep it out. Bleep.
But yeah, and he was like, that was me trying to bleep myself out. It went wrong then.
I forgot what you were trying to say.
My gag went wrong, I couldn't do it. Anyway, he just stood there going, how can it be a game of the year? Because it's Call of Duty. And even though he was a fucking little prick, I do see what he's saying.
If you're watching, you've been called out, pal. We don't remember.
I see what he's saying.
We don't remember your name, but you know who you are.
Because he's fucking on Cloud Nobody. But like,
you have 17 followers.
But I saw what you were saying.
3 of them are your mum's free account.
You went for his mother. But how can Call of Duty...
Oh,
we went there. Burn.
Anyway, so Call of Duty, we've already touched on various things that make it good. Yes, it is boots to the floor. Yes, it is a return to form. But what specifically... I mean, we've gone into great detail, so we're not going to cover all ground because it was only on the last bloody gaming vlog we did. Yeah. But
it's good because it gives us what we've asked for.
The most important thing for me is when I finish a game, I feel like I want to have another game.
Oh, yeah.
And it's been years since I've been like that. It's always been, do you know what, I've had nothing, I'll play FIFA, or I'll go to bed, or whatever, do you know what I mean? But I actually have that, shit, just one more game. One more game. Just one more game.
I'm a free-for-all addict, I love it. And the weapon settings are good as well.
I've started playing hardcore because I was getting a bit frustrated with the fact that I felt like the balance wasn't the right way. But the problem is, with me, it's my mentality. I know Call of Duty does suit run and gun a lot more than, say, like a Battlefield game. But I do it too much. So then every now and again, every few weeks, I have a moment where I go, I'm not going to say I start camping, but I start trying to be a bit more clever about the way I'm playing. Like I try to take positions up.
I form a loop. I have a building or a little set staircase, and I run around that staircase. I'm in a little loop.
Well, it's well, I was going to say every Call of Duty, but every shoot is the same. Where you apart from maybe Battlefield, because their maps are so big, but you find like you always know that spot where either A, it's that spot that everyone tries to get hold of. So you position yourself not on the spot, but you're waiting to catch them trying to get it. Or it's the travel lane, you know, like it's a bridge or something like that. And you think, right, it's not... And it annoys me when people call that camping. Because for me, camping is sitting in the corner of a room.
Just don't walk across the fucking bridge.
Yeah.
If you want to get fucking...
Exactly.
You all get picked off. You walk in an obvious area.
Camping is sitting in the corner of a room with a shotgun, hoping that someone's going to come in. Camping, like... sitting behind like a wall that's been designed by the developers to be a position, and you're like you would in real life. Like you wouldn't be like, imagine being in World War II for reals, right? And you're coming up to the wall and you see the fucking German soldiers sniping from that soundbag. You're like, hey, Nazi, camping twat, what are you doing?
It's bad form, move.
And he's like, that is good gaming. You must learn how to play.
The game is created so you can find clever ways of getting without going around the obvious across the... I'm thinking of Gibraltar. There is a little bridge you can go across. Why the fuck you would, I never know.
Every time I've tried it, I've died.
But you could.
And then you have that one moment where you're like, maybe it is. No, you're dead. You get shot like straight away.
And there's the same Gibraltar level. You've got this big open little bit with steps to go up, a little turn, and there's a circle bit with a big massive air defence thing. If you run across there, you will die. Someone will be in the window, at the top of the stairs, or fucking behind you.
Don't you hate about Call of Duty? And again, I'm not just saying this is just a Call of Duty, but don't you hate when you're playing Call of Duty and you're running along, you don't see anyone, and either two things happen. Either A, you go, I'm going to reload my gun. As soon as you start reloading your gun, someone pops out and shoots you, or you see someone running with a battery and you think, brilliant, easy shot, and as you're about to shoot him, someone fucking kills you, and you're like, for fuck's sake!
I always,
so
especially on the USS Texas level, I'm always running around going, right, that was... maybe I'm on a 3-kill streak. I'm feeling pretty good at myself. Yeah. Probably time to put down a clip. And there's someone.
Click.
When I die, wait for someone to walk on it. They don't. And carry on.
Yeah. But yeah, so
it's
number 5.
It's fun. It's
we like
fun.
it. We like it. It's
hasn't broke the mold.
It's a decent game. The campaign I haven't played yet.
Good.
Yeah. So
silly.
Silly. Yeah, but it's Call of Duty, isn't it? It's always bombastic. My number 4. Right, number 4. My number 4 is... what did I have on my list? I'm trying to remember so I can put them in the right order.
I've got your number 4. Your number 4 is FIFA 18?
No.
That didn't make your list?
No.
You love and hate FIFA.
I'm struggling with this FIFA, to be honest. I'm finding it a lot harder. Me and my friend Andy, if he's watching this, I think he wouldn't think this is unfair to say that when we used to play against each other, the balance...
Shit, wasn't he?
No, he wasn't shit, but I think the balance was more in my favour on wins. This year, he ruins me. I mean, he doesn't just...
Go Andy.
Like, I can't beat him. I mean, I have beat him a few times, but it's very heavily in his favour. It's not just like he's turned... Like, when we used to play, I would say the win rate for me was 60-40, 70-30 at most. I reckon it's at like 90-10, 80-20. I'm struggling to score goals.
He's honed his game. Your number 4 is Resident Evil 7.
It's not number 4. Resident Evil was higher than that for me.
Is it?
Yeah. Number 4 is going to be Sonic Mania.
There you go.
And again, maybe I'll keep it low down the list because it is just a Sonic game. Like a lot of people would play it and just say, well, it's just like Sonic 1 and 2. It's not like... And it's kind of stupid in a way that they've had 20 years of trying to develop other Sonic spin-offs and sequels, and then they've realised that, shit, we had it right.
Did Forces come out this year as well?
Is that the one that's just come out? Because Sonic Mania is not even the newest one. One came out more recently.
Forces is the newest one, yeah.
I haven't played that one, but I don't...
Mania is the one that got good reviews.
Mania is the one I think it has been more well received. It's brilliant. It's not only just like the originals, it actually uses the same levels, but it adds, like you think, when you first start the level, like Green Hill Zone, you're like, oh, this is fucking Green Hill Zone from the first one. And then you realise that there are very, very much, because it's not a port of that game, they've rebuilt it from the ground up. And there's very small differences that you go, oh, they've actually, like, how, you didn't think they could do it, but they have improved on it. Do you know what I mean? Because they've only been subtle and they've added, and you know those weird little things about Sonic, how as the game's progressed, they had to add more interesting ways that the springs worked in that. Like on the second one, they added those kind of lined ones where when you bounced them, they kind of span that way.
And then they disappeared when you were going up and down. So
or on the chemical plant zone where you go through the pipes and the spin round. It adds a load of new versions of those, but they're not shit. Like you think, like normally those sort of things. I don't know why, but it's like I see what they're trying. Yeah, so all the little things that they've added are. They actually enhance the game, and they're not a detriment to it. So that's my number 4.
Yep.
My number 3 is Wolfenstein: The New Colossus.
Solid single player.
Solid single player. Yeah, it's nice to see. I mean, it's been a bit of a hoo-ha this year, hasn't it, over single player stuff, and you know whether or not a game should be made to be mass online games. EA certainly thinks so. But did you see that video that Bethesda put out?
No.
For the... I don't know who it's run by, but they did like the Video Game Awards the other night. And they had like a video that Bethesda put on, and it was Linda Carter, who played Wonder Woman in like the 70s or whatever it was. Yeah. And she... Because I didn't realise, but she plays like a... in one of the Fallout games, she plays like a singer or something.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, and so she mentions it. And basically the whole theme of it is it's a bit of a joke on like single player fans are getting neglected and all that, but they're like, don't worry, Bethesda's got your back, because it was like listing that all day.
They're just butthurt because the Elder Scrolls Online shit.
Yeah, to be fair, they had a go at it and it failed. I'm gonna have a bounty because Maltesers. Malteser chocolate.
So that's number,
so good.
Is that number 3? Hang on, what was that?
Oh, yeah, I should talk a bit more about it. So,
Tricks.
I might have to edit this bag because I'm chomping.
Alright.
Chocolate. Christmas chocolate. Anyway, so. Wolfenstein: The New Colossus. Now, I only played Wolfenstein: The New Order this year. Purely because when I watched the free footage, they showed the trailer for The New Colossus, and I was like, that looks fucking incredible. And I'd heard the first one was, I say it's not really the first Wolfenstein, but you know, the reboot, The New Order, was good. I heard it had its problems and all that, so I was like, I'm gonna have to play it. And like I said to you earlier, I have to play it now because I want to play the second one. I mentioned before it had, it seemed to have a bit of lag on the way that it controlled and stuff. There was something not quite crisp about the controls on it. They have improved that on the second one. The opening level is incredible. It's so tongue-in-cheek, the game. It's very much one of those... did you ever see that movie? And this is... I hate when I do this, when I try to describe something. I can't remember the name of it. It was a movie about... that the Nazis had never actually gone away and they were actually living on the moon. It's a really weird film, but it's good. It's like a really tongue-in-cheek movie, and then the Nazis come back to like take over the world. It turns out they were actually living on the dark side of the moon.
No.
I'll find it out for you, but it's very much similar to that because obviously Wolfenstein's storyline is that the Nazis won the war.
Yeah.
And the start of the game, you sort of wake up, same as pretty much what happened in the first one, after sort of being out for a while after the events of the first game, and you're going around this ship and you're in a wheelchair. And you're like, you've got this like Michelin, like you're still doing the Arnold Schwarzenegger bit with the machine gun, but you're wheeling around on a wheelchair. It's so good. It's so like just typical sort of the humour on it. But what's amazing about it is it's so tongue in cheek and so sort of comic booky, but it really goes to quite deep thinking places. Do you know what I mean? Like it really does talk about class and racism and all that sort of stuff. And it's a really, really dark. When it shows BJ Blazkowicz, the sort of main character, it shows a little bit of backstory. So it has flashbacks to when he was a kid. It's fucking dark, man. This is a bit of a spoiler, so if you haven't played it, but basically the dad, to punish you, like ties you up in the garage with his hands, puts a shotgun in your hand and tells you you've got to shoot your dog. Yeah, it's dark. It's really dark. But then it goes like the typical Wolfenstein like stupidness. But it doesn't sort of isn't a contrast like you think it would be. Like it doesn't ruin it. It doesn't make you feel like, oh, this is all over the place tonally. It does work and it's really, really good. I don't want to say no more because I'll spoil it, but it is a fucking fun game. It's one of those games that remembers it's a video game. And it's not trying to be a movie, and it's not trying to be, it's the same. It's the same in the movie industry. Like, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but we've gone through a period, haven't we? Over I don't know how many years, where movies went incredibly realistic, incredibly serious, and now I think we're entering that period again where movies are remembering, oh, we can be fun. We can actually be a bit tongue-in-cheek, like the movies, for me, my favourite, I know everyone will say, like for movie purists like yourself who studied movies at uni, the period that people tend to love is the 70s. But I love the 80s for movies. I think the 80s was, don't get me wrong, there was a lot of shit in the 80s, don't get me wrong, but there was also,
that's the problem with the 80s,
it was a very much entertainment decade, wasn't it?
Well, there was a lot of shit, but yeah.
But there's a lot of shit now as well, so.
All shit now.
However, so that's number 3.
Number 2.
Number 2 is a movie. Number 2 is a game which has already been briefly mentioned. Resident Evil 7.
It looks good.
I thought it was fucking excellent. Now, it didn't feel too long, which is good, because traditionally Resident Evil games can be quite long, especially if you do the like A side, B side, and all that.
Yeah.
I'm going to be controversial now, because it is a big change for the series, being the first person, etc. I think it might be my favourite in the Resident Evil series.
I played the first Resident Evil on Halloween night.
Yeah.
And
it's hard, isn't it? Because nostalgia tells me that Resident Evil 2 is the best.
Resident Evil 2 is fantastic.
But I know that if you go back and play it, because we've said before, haven't we?
They're not.
Like, retro games, up to a point, are brilliant. You can go back and play Mega Man, Mario, Sonic, Bubsy, all that sort of Rolo to the Rescue and all that sort of. You know Bubsy?
No.
It was decent.
They were an amazing platformer.
Yeah. And then Bubsy! But Animaniacs game, that was good.
Decent.
Yeah, exactly. Did I redeem myself? But you get to the PlayStation era, the early 3D stuff, and that doesn't age well.
It's really badly. Resident Evil, I can't move.
It's. I mean, that's the thing. It's not just. Don't get me wrong. It's not just a graphical thing when you say it doesn't age well. Manically, it doesn't age well. So that whole, you don't quite know where you're facing, because this is Resident Evil 1 and 2, and I think 3 as well. And it's like, this is when you're trying to shoot people, and it's like, but you get the zombie comes in the room, you're like, oh shit, just trying to get that gun around to aim at the zombie.
I think people had more spare time back then because I'm there, like,
so much running
I
around.
can't fit anything more in my. I've got to go back to my chest, and it's just But
I know where there's a chest. It's on the other side of the mansion. You're like running for ages, opening doors so those animation scenes with the dog going, or up steps.
But getting back to your point, I can see why you would say that. Although Resident Evil 4 was fucking amazing, over the shoulder. But no, you're wrong. Resident Evil 4.
Okay. I didn't like Resident Evil 4. I don't understand.
Don't create a podcast about that.
I'll be honest, maybe I didn't play it enough, so I will put that out there.
You just got to play the first 15 minutes and your mind's already gone.
I didn't like the start of it. In the village and that. I just wound me up.
Why?
I didn't like it.
You're fucking wrong.
Didn't like it.
Fucking
I didn't like 5 as well. Why is it on 5 you can't shoot and run at the same time?
5 was like a fucking movie, wasn't it?
As soon as you try and shoot, you're like your feet, and it's incredibly racist.
Carry on talking about number 7. Poor form, Jason.
7 was good. 7 was amazing. 7 was... I mean, story was good. It was very, very obviously cinematic, and the whole sort of story. Yeah, it was a bit cliche. We've gone there to find your girlfriend that who's gone missing. But without spoiling anything, the story that unfolds. I mean, the family. I've actually forgotten the name of them. Are they like the Baker family or something like that? They were creepy as fuck. I mean, dad. Oh mate, the boss fights with him. There's one in particular in the car garage where it's trying to obviously demonstrate to you that how like not dead this guy is, because he's not really dead. He's kind of infected and kind of, but like you kind of severing bits off him. You setting him on fire, and he just keeps coming at you. You know what I mean? It's almost like the Terminator, and it's just like right.
Sounds good.
So it's decent. It's such a good game. Really worth.
January
playing.
game that wasn't it?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I was buzzing for it. It's a strange time for that game to come out. I mean,
really strange.
October makes more sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, scare the shit out of you.
So yeah, that's my number 2. Now my number 1
Get the old leg stretched out.
has to be, and we again we did mention this earlier. It has to be Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Is it really, really, really good? Like everyone fucking says it is. Why is it good? What do you do on it? I played it briefly.
It's right. It's going to be hard for me to really say what's good about it. But what I will say is I'm not traditionally a Zelda fan. It's not that I don't like Zelda. I just never really.
It's like Skyrim, like a cartoon.
Not really, because it doesn't have the same level of story in it. I mean, I know Skyrim's a bit more. It's not like a BioWare game where like in a BioWare game the story's very much driving force of that story, isn't it? Whereas Skyrim, the story's a little
Make
bit.
your own story.
Yeah, but the stories are there, but they're almost like just like you say, they just
Go
help
on.
you progress.
Can you deliver this parcel for me?
Yes, yeah. I used to be an adventurer like you, and then I took an arrow to the knee. You used to be an adventurer like me, and then one arrow stopped you. I don't think so, pal.
I will pay you 5 coins for any gorge you pick up.
Oh,
I
brilliant.
must go see that person again with the gorge. Never see him again.
Yeah, I love it. I do like the Elder Scrolls games.
But yeah,
Plymouth's better. So.
definitely not. But it's
it's hard to explain. Now it's a fucking humongous game.
Is it really big?
Huge. Like I've travelled so much distance on it, and I look at my map and there's so much I haven't even touched. Like the map's all greyed out where I haven't got to it. It's humongous.
You got to go do missions.
You have to do missions, and it's very much. It's not even that makes it good. It's very much a game that I'm not going to say it's trying to be realistic, but you have to really consider resources. Like you cannot go into the mountains because you'll freeze. So you have to have like the right clothing or the right. You can have spells that obviously make you so you don't freeze, or you take a torch. You light a torch, and there's different ways of doing it. Do you know what I mean? So it's not just like you have to go and get this to progress. You can go like I thought I'm gonna have to get this because I read somewhere in the game, not outside the game, which was telling me there's a certain meal that you can make that warms you up, but you have to find the ingredients, find the list of ingredients, and I was like, I can't bother with that. So I just thought I'd try it. I had a club which was actually a weapon, stuck it in a fire. Oh, it's a torch now. Just ran up into the mountain with it, and it was keeping me warm. And I was like, spot on, that do. But then enemy came at me and I hit with my torch and it went out. I was like, ah! I was like, running down the mountain. And then you've got this like paraglider thing, so you just jump off the side of the mountain and just fly your way back down. Like you say.
No, I want it.
And you run out of like you've got stamina, so if you're like, 'cause you can climb up the side of the mountains, but you get halfway and you're like, it's almost like I've got no energy to get to the top. So do I risk it and try keep going to try and get to that ledge where I can rest halfway? Do I just go back down again? Because if I let go, I'm going to die. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, so clever.
So it's things like that are really, really good. And you get the horses. And when you what I really like about this is when you get the horse. I've only just got a horse actually. When you get a horse, you don't. It's not like other games where you. It's like you're driving a car. So press this button to go and then point the steer it. It's like a real horse in the sense that when you press the button, what you're doing is going, giddy up, and you have to then pull back to get it to stop. So once you start the horse going, it will just carry on momentum like a horse would in real life. You're not pressing a button and making it drive. You're going, come on, move, and it's trotting. And if you want it to stop, you have to go, whoa! You have to tell it to stop. It's not like a brake button, and it kind of is, but it's more like you have to you have to pull it back, and you have to you can press a button, I can't remember what it is, to reassure the horse, because if it gets scared in that, you can stroke its momentum.
Are the missions a mix of platform and shooting and fighting, or what?
Yeah, I mean, most of the missions I've been doing, I mean, there's a lot of side missions, but as you know, and I'm a bit of a skipper of those. But the main quest is, I mean, you're trying to obviously, like all the Zelda games, you've got to fight. I think it's Ganon, isn't it? Like the big bad, and he's basically hovering around this sort of old palace where I'm assuming Princess Zelda's in there. Because in this story, Zink's been it's been 100 years or something, and you've been. I can't remember whether you're dead and you're resurrected, or whether you were just in a sort of status, like you're on a Nostromo or whatever it is,
Nice.
Shit, what was the question again?
The dogs are allowed, mate.
Yeah, the dog's put me off, just scratching his bed.
Because The Witcher.
Oh, sorry.
It's like The Witcher again, but the missions are very much hack and slash and no platform. Is it a bit like that?
The missions themselves don't take a lot of. Certainly the ones I've played, they're not really combat driven. It's more the combat is more just when you're on route from point A to point B. Well, it's just as you're going from point A to point B, these creatures are just around and you have to fight. So what are the missions then? So you've got one thing which is you go to these sort of I'm going to get terminology wrong, get absolutely owned in the comments, but it's almost like a sort of shrine, like a tomb type thing.
Definitely isn't it?
And you go down in below ground, and those missions are they're almost like platform, but they're puzzles. Like you can't just go from to the end of it. You have to go. You have to figure out the puzzle, but it's based on these sort of powers that you get. And the first 4 or 5 of them, you unlock these. You unlock these different powers. Like there's one which is status, so you can freeze things, basically make them stop. And there's one which is like a bomb that you can throw. Another one is if there's water, you can make ice rise out of it you can make a platform out of it. So if a waterfall, you can actually make it come out the wall, sort of thing. So it's various things like that, and it's normally using. And once you've unlocked them all, then it's just about using those resources. It's figuring out which one do I need to use here. One I did the other day was because I'm playing it slow time, by the way. It's not the game I play.
You play big screen or small?
I play it on the small screen still, but I've played it on the big screen as well, and I don't. It doesn't bother me. It's on the small screen.
Beautiful game.
It is, but it doesn't look any less beautiful on the small screen. When you get Zelda,
I'm not.
You'll get it. I'll lend it to you. I'll lend you one to my Switch.
I was going to say, let me switch.
Yeah. So it's quite So the mission I did the other day with sort of the shrine was there was water, and in there was these electrical balls, I guess. They were it almost looked like a ball with 2 sort of conductor metal pins that went out of it. And in order to get this door to open, I had to move them to create the electrical link, and it's used the one that is it's one I didn't mention actually. It's almost like a telekinesis type one, so you can grab it and then make it look.
I want to play it now.
It's a good game, but on top of that, you've got the main story. So it's really so far for me been about go from point A to point B. So what's happening at the moment? is I need to go and there's these basically things called the vine beasts, and they're like these massive. Ironically, they're like big mechanical, like monster type things, almost like Horizon Zero Dawn. That you have to go in. I don't really know I haven't figured out what I need to do to them yet, but I've obviously got to get them. You know, I don't want to say recruit them, but you've obviously got to get them so that they can go and attack the big bad. And I'm not 100% sure, but I almost get the feeling it's like almost like a Shadow of the Colossus type situation. Yeah, but when I get to them, I've got to the first one, and it's really impressive when you get there. But he's got like this laser beam shit, and he basically sees me, and I'm like, oh, he seems to be vibrating and glowing red. Oh shit, I'm dead. You know what I mean? I cannot figure out for the life of me what I've got to do. So.
And there are lots of Easter eggs as well to find them.
Probably. I mean, like I said, I'm not big into the Zelda lore or played a lot of the other games, so they're probably there, but I probably don't notice them. Do you know what I mean?
You sold it. It sounds fucking amazing.
But it's a good game.
A worthy number one.
The combat's good on it. You know, it's fun. It's just hack and slash, but it's fun because again, when it comes to the resource management, your weapons break. So I've got like 2 really awesome swords, but I'm too scared to use them because I might need them in a decent fight. So I'm just using like crappy clubs and stuff, just clubbing the shit out of people.
Your torch.
Exactly, yeah, pretty much. That's the sort of thing I'm using. And you get loads of arrows, and there's different types of arrows. There's ones that explode, and ones that use fire, and stuff like that. And I'm pretty good with the arrows.
How do you play the game? Just using the...
Yeah, just using the Joy-Cons on the actual sides of the thing, but you can obviously use...
If you're sat on the big screen, can you use your Joy-Cons?
You put Joy-Cons into the holder thing, or you can buy a Pro Controller. There's also a controller which I'm thinking about buying. It's actually a Bluetooth controller which is for the Switch, but it's in the shape of the Super Nintendo controller.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm thinking it's cheaper because the Pro Controller is something like 60 quid, something like that.
What's it do? What's the Pro Controller?
It just looks like a PlayStation controller,
right.
or GameCube type one. But the other one's it's like 25 quid. So I'll get on it.
Worthy number one. So, worthy number one. Well done, you.
That's mine. That's my favourite 5 games of the year.
What a year! It's
Zelda.
been an okay year.
I'm hoping to play more games. I mean, look, holding hands up. This has been a transitional year for us. We started the channel at the start of the year. And it is a difficult. I mean, all joking aside, it is a difficult thing to try and balance. Like when you're trying to write for websites, like we do. When you're trying to film videos and edit, like we never like to all you other YouTubers out there, and more specifically the guys that put effort into
not the shit one, not the fucking lazy one, just put fucking live streams all the time.
Yeah, the ones that put effort into editing their videos, and we salute you because it does take a lot of work. And the videos we want to do, I mean, when we first started this, we wanted to do lists and stuff. That was kind of our MO, wasn't it?
And they're amazing. They
but they take so much effort to do. When you think about the footage,
we haven't got time to spend a couple of weeks in the video. We need to get them out quick.
Exactly.
So a list is going to be
we do them every now and again.
But our review videos are a big success. They've got thousands of views.
We've done.
Our interview videos, sorry.
Your interview ones, do. We've recently started to touch on. We're trying to resist the review tag. It's impressions. But the good, bad, and the ugly, it's just trying to make it unique, really, isn't it? Our own take on it.
Films.
We did a touch on comedy, and we may do that again and see how it goes on, you know.
But no, we love it.
We were going to be starting our singing career, and
I'm rapping so much at the moment.
I was thinking about doing it. We were talking off camera before, and I've been watching a lot of Flight of Conchords, and I'm a big fan of them and The Lonely Island, and I'm like, I'd love to do like a comedic gaming related rap. I mean, I think it could work.
We could.
I was thinking about doing I won't get time to do it, but I was thinking about doing a Christmas song, but a gaming related one. I come up with so many ideas.
These are ideas, man. These are ideas, man. I knew we were bastard.
Some of them stick, some of them don't.
I stifle him. I do stifle him.
But we're gonna, we want to write a book, don't we?
We're gonna write a book.
Books. We're gonna be millionaires, Rodney, this time next year.
Jesus.
But we won't.
Onwards and upwards, definitely next year. Lots more interview video. I've got an interview video lined up. I'm going to sort out.
Yeah, more. So we'll do an update at the end of the year. I think we'll do a quick update because a lot of people we know don't get to the end of these videos because they're quite long.
Fucking long.
But you guys that do, so if you've got this far, say something in the comments. If you actually got to this part and we're saying to you, please mention the comments. Say, I got there. I got to minute.
I had a long ass train journey and watched it.
43 or whatever it was.
My train was delayed.
Because a lot of people I appreciate the comments. Just put stuff in like cool vid.
I love those comments.
I love it. I love it. The ones I love are the ones that when you upload a 45-minute video and they write like brilliant vid 3 minutes after you've uploaded it. So you've only watched 3 minutes of it. Based on the intro. They like the intro. So
everyone loves your intro, don't they?
We've got a couple of intros now, haven't we?
I'm confused about them.
Yeah.
I like them all.
I need to get our Google Drive tidied up and then put the intros and you can pick which one you want. Like,
thank you.
This one gets the Metallica one, doesn't it? Anyway, we're fucking going off on one now, aren't we?
Jeez, we are. But guys,
that's the end of the gaming vlog.
We want you to have a lovely Christmas. Hope you'll get everything you want, like a Switch. And yeah, I love you, but I like you lot. I like you all.
I love you.
Who do you love? All them.
I love you, Sean.
Oh, you love
Merry
me.
Christmas.
I love you too.
So last Christmas, I asked for a new friend that would help me progress myself.
Let's go in there.
So yeah, someone's just like pulled up outside my house, like skidded along. Is that your missus? Like trying to make sure you're not having an affair with me or something.
It's always on the card, doesn't it?
Danger. Right. Thank you very much for watching. Now we may be back with a movie vlog.
We will.
Or the movie vlog might come out before this.
It won't be as long as this, but it will be out.
So thanks for watching, and have a very, very Merry Christmas.